No, we are not back. And we are back for yet another live session. This is about the England versus New Zealand recent game. Well, let me introduce our guest, special guest we have. It's Pro Buddha or Pro, and I am Diggy, or should I say DG, or should I say Das Gupta, Anurag Das Gupta. And so let's talk a bit about the game that has just happened. England versus New Zealand. England ने न्यूजीलैंड को 20 रनों से हराया है. एक ऐसा गेम जो कि हम लोग यहाँ पे वन क्रिकेट पे बैठ के यही एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे थे कि इंग्लैंड ये मैच जीते सो दैट थिंग्स गेट अ बिट मोर स्पाइसियर इस ग्रुप में एंड इट हैज हैपेंड. Prabhuda, what's your take on this?
I think till the 12th or 13th over of the second innings, I felt New Zealand is going to win the match. लेकिन अचानक से वहां से मैच घूम गया एंड स्पेशली फ्रॉम द टाइम केन विलियमसन डिपार्टेड इट सडनली फेल अपार्ट फॉर न्यूजीलैंड. आई नो आप केन विलियमसन के बारे में क्या बोलने वाले आई नो, बट स्टिल आई थिंक ही वाज एंकरिंग द इनिंग्स फ्रॉम वन एंड दैट
You call that anchoring?
सी फ्रॉम द वेरी बिगिनिंग टूर्नामेंट जब से स्टार्ट हुआ उससे पहले से मैं बोल रहा हूँ केन विलियमसन द बैटर is not needed for New Zealand. But today I think when he failed, suddenly there was a panic in the New Zealand team जो हमें हमेशा दिखता है उस टीम में कि when there is constitution they panic and they falter. That's what happened.
I think he shouldn't be in the team. I mean, कैप्टेंसी की वजह से अगर आप किसी एक को टीम में रख रहे हो
तो
there's
अगर
no point.
then I would
I
ask
mean, let's be really honest. For like maybe you'll disagree with me and you are disagreeing with me, but I feel कि वो एक liability है. और अभी जैसे to be really honest, he's just like Temba Bavuma for me.
मैं वही पूछने वाला था.
टेस्ट मैचेस में अगर हम बात करें तो केन विलियमसन इज इररिप्लेसेबल. बट जहां हम बात करते हैं टी20 आई इसका आई फील कि जो उनको टेनिस एल्बो इंजरी हो रखी है काफी टाइम से, दैट्स हैम्परिंग हिज गेम एंड इट्स नॉट सपोर्टिंग हिम. एंड हम देख रहे हैं कि यहाँ पर कहीं ना कहीं हम उड़ चुके हैं लाइफ से और लाइफ बंद हो चुका है और लाइव चल रहा है. माफ कीजिएगा. So I was talking about Kane Williamson and after his tennis elbow injury for the past 2 or 3 years, it has hampered his game. और कहीं ना कहीं शायद मैं exaggerate कर रहा हूँ उनको टेम्बा बवूमा से compare करके shortest format of the game में, but he's becoming a liability. What's your take on him?
I would say it's time that Ken Williamson decides, New Zealand decides that they need to hand over the captaincy to someone of the new generation, someone who is more aggressive, जो ज्यादा T20 गेम के लिए adapted है, जो अच्छी तरह से अपना innings T20 गेम्स के लिए, T20 मैचेस के लिए build कर सकते हैं. That's it.
But you know, एक बात है कि till the time, like you said, till the time Kane Williamson was there, वहाँ पे एक panic button on नहीं था. But
That's the thing कि वहाँ actually Glenn Phillips and Kane Williamson come at a stage when they need to anchor the innings as well as take it to the
I'm really sorry Prabhuda,
yeah.
आपको मैं यहीं रोक रहा हूँ for
yes,
2
of
minutes.
course, of course.
एक क्वेश्चन है अमित कुमार चौबे जी से. हेलो अमित जी, आपका वन क्रिकेट से जुड़ने के लिए धन्यवाद. उनका क्वेश्चन है कि गप्टिल क्यों नहीं?
I would say
an interesting question अमित जी.
I would say कि इस वर्ल्ड कप में आने के टाइम पे गप्टिल was not in the greatest of form, so they decided to drop him and bring in Finn Allen. But the thing that's happened is the presence of Kane Williamson as the New Zealand captain has backfired for New Zealand. और इसी वजह से now you can look at other substitutions whoever are there and but ये जो वर्ल्ड कप जो टूर्नामेंट चल रहा है, I don't think New Zealand will be looking to make any changes within this tournament.
I agree with you because obviously चाहे हम कितना भी कह ले Kane Williamson, he won't be dropped. Let's be honest. You can't drop Devon Conway, Finn Allen. So कहीं ना कहीं अमित जी उनकी जगह अभी नहीं बन रही है गप्टिल की purely because of form. एक और क्वेश्चन है अब्दुल सैयद का. He has said, Abdul ji, first of all, thank you for joining in the live session. He has said, hey, but I always consider him as the skipper New Zealand needed, not the batsman. I agree, but at the same time अगर आप देखें कि T20 एक ऐसा फॉर्मेट है जो केन विलियमसन को सूट नहीं करता है. एंड समटाइम्स यू नीड टू प्ले फॉर योर टीम एंड नॉट फॉर योर ओन इंडिविजुअल प्रेफरेंस. आपको टीम के हित को आगे रखना पड़ता है.
But I think we have seen Kane Williamson a 2 years earlier version of Kane Williamson where he can do that, where he can play the role of an aggressor.
He can, but he hasn't.
That's the thing that he is missing out on those things. So what can we say?
एक और क्वेश्चन है कि सिदाना, अगर मैं आपका नाम सही से ले रहा हूँ, सो प्लीज सिदाना वेंकट करुणाकर, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग. इनका क्वेश्चन है, गुड प्लेयर बट फॉर्म इज नॉट देयर. आई एग्री,
Of course,
फॉर्म इज नॉट देयर,
of course.
बट
A world class player, a pedigree player, we need to agree to that. But the thing is ki at present when you are going into a tournament, you don't need players like him who would be scoring at a strike rate of 1. I have been saying it from the beginning of the tournament.
you're not playing in UAE जहां
Yeah,
आपको
जहां आपको
एक
एक-
रोटेट करना है या आपके बैट पे बॉल नहीं आ रही है. Here the ball is coming out of the bat nicely.
Yes.
So आप यहाँ पे कंप्लेन नहीं कर सकते कि जी बॉल बैट पे नहीं आ रहा है,
And
ये
we
हो
need
रहा है, स्लो आउटफील्ड है. Everything is in your favor as a
Yes.
batsman. Another question from Abdul Sayyid. He said, instead Guptill should come in place of Daryl Mitchell. No. What's your take on this, Prabhu?
I would say not a good choice to drop Daryl Mitchell.
Daryl
He is
Mitchell
also
नहीं.
very good all-rounder. आज नहीं खेल पाए बहुत दिन, मतलब he is also making an comeback from injury.
Finger injury थी.
So I think his bowling would be very essential for New Zealand in the when the business end of the tournament comes. But I don't think they would be dropping Mitchell and bringing Guptill in place of him. But if Guptill gets a chance, it would be
either Finn Allen or maybe most probably Finn
yes.
Allen.
So, but I don't see Mitchell being dropped.
Another question is from Cricket with Ayush. He says New Zealand should learn from Australia. They also dropped Steve Smith in the playing 11. It's the right time to put Kane out of the playing 11. Bold statement. It's not an unpopular opinion जो इन्होंने कहा है. I sort of agree with him कि fine, as a captain he is one of the best captains. He's a shrewd captain. जो हम कहते हैं cool, calm, MSD vibes देते हैं मुझे वो.
Yes, of course.
But आप
not
as a
MSD the
batsman नहीं
batter.
खेल रहे, आप as a सिर्फ captain नहीं खेल रहे. You're also playing as a captain. आपकी responsibility as a batsman also to anchor the innings, and anchor doesn't mean playing at a strike rate of 100 when you're chasing 180.
I would say the first thing that I would say to you reminds me of MSD, but not MSD the finisher.
Yes,
And
yes,
the
yes.
second
As a
thing-
captain, I'm saying.
Yes, as a captain, of course, he reminds me of MSD. लेकिन अभी T20 में number 3 का spot, he is just wasting that position.
He is, and either he has to improve his strike rate.
He has to
And
find a way to.
he has to find a way.
Yes, increase his scoring rate.
Increase नहीं तो फिर हो सकता है ये उनका आखिरी टूर्नामेंट हो एज अ T20 player, I would say. एक और क्वेश्चन है शिव नायक जी का. हेलो शिव. He said he should retire from T20. अभी जिसकी हम बात कर रहे थे, he should retire from T20. He does not deserve for T20 platform. Harsh comment तो नहीं है, लेकिन sort of agreed with you कि
Yes, it's not a
पिछले
harsh
2-3 साल
comment
से
now.
after the 2019 World Cup he hasn't played much in white ball format.
And मतलब अगर आप उनको बैटिंग करते हुए देखोगे तो आपको पता चल रहा है कि he is not feeling that, मतलब we are not seeing that Kane Williamson that we are used to see. वो confidence नहीं है, वो zeal नहीं है उनमें. So it's not just basically you are a good captain, you are in the team. That doesn't justify your position in the team.
I mean, obviously in test matches he is irreplaceable. Test matches में I guess कोई सवाल ही नहीं है उनकी जगह पे. ODIs वो बहुत कम खेलते हैं. मेरे ख्याल से उन्होंने गिन के फिंगर टिप्स पे गिन सकते हैं. उन्होंने 10 ODI भी नहीं खेले होंगे after 2019
बहुत
World Cup.
injured भी रहे बीच में.
Again, T20 फॉर्मेट भी ज्यादा नहीं खेलते, तो कहीं ना कहीं he has to think after the tournament. I'm sure New Zealand will reach the semis.
Yes.
I still feel New Zealand will reach the semis, but after the tournament he has to think कि अब वो आगे क्या करना चाहते हैं as a long term
Yes,
solution.
of course.
Another question is from ABW Wajid Bhayo. Interesting name. He says all captains are not performing in the World Cup.
I think if you
Please go and read Prabhuda's piece
Yes,
on this. आपने
yes.
कुछ टाइम पहले लिखा था. Please उनको बता दीजिए.
This is a jinx. This is a jinxed World Cup for the captains till now. None of the captains have been performing well. I think only one impactful performance we have seen, and
Aaron
that's
Finch.
from yes,
60 odd
but
against
that too
Ireland.
against Ireland.
60 is a 60.
Yes, but the most impactful performance from a captain in this tournament has been
Balbirnie.
from Balbirnie against England.
True.
Otherwise, we have not seen that good बैटिंग फ्रॉम और बॉलिंग मींस व्हाटएवर देयर ट्रेड इज हमने नहीं देखा है. रोहित शर्मा का एक 50 हमने जरूर देखा है, लेकिन वो भी दैट्स अगेंस्ट नीदरलैंड्स.
सो इसका क्या रीजन है? आई मीन मोस्ट ऑफ द कैप्टन्स आर ओपनर्स. वी हैव सीन बटलर, रोहित शर्मा, एंड्रू बैलबर्नी.
बट टुडे I would just say कि today Butler has played a beautiful knock. One of the captains,
he has today. So finally the jinx has been broken.
I guess the jinx has been broken, and we guess Rohit Sharma's jinx also get broken quickly.
Another question, like Kane Williamson is on fire right now. मतलब ऐसा टॉपिक हमने चूज किया है. राजू गौतम जी, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हेलो राजू जी जुड़ने के लिए. He says Kane Williamson टीम के लिए नहीं खेलता है, वो अपने करियर बचा रहा है. Harsh statement again, but नहीं. I mean, as far as I have seen Kane Williamson over the years, he is a team player. Honestly, वो अपने career मतलब he
And
is not playing for his career.
I would go ahead further and say that these things used to happen when cricket was in the 90s, I would say. ऐसे लोग खेलते थे, but I don't see players nowadays doing this kind of things कि अपना career बचाना है और या फिर अपने runs बनाने हैं. And Ken Williamson doing that kind of a thing, I don't see it. I think he's trying, but it's not coming out of it.
Another question from Sujit Michael. He says, "Hope Kane performs well in the semi-finals. He's a big game man." If you remember, last time he performed in the finals also, Sujit, against Australia, 2021 World Cup में. Unfortunately, New Zealand हार गई थी Mitchell Marsh masterclass. But honestly, at least उनको पूरा confidence था सुजीत को कि New Zealand semi-finals तो जा रही है.
But I would say, as an Indian fan, I hope he doesn't perform in semi-finals because जो equation बन रहा है, I think he will be playing. New Zealand will be playing against India.
अगर हम दोनों मैच जीतते हैं, but I still feel कि South Africa will finish on top, India second, unless Pakistan beat them and equation change होता अलग बात है, but most probably India अभी तक लग रहा है कि second finish करेगी and they'll face New Zealand जो कि डर का माहौल रहेगा because we haven't performed well against New Zealand.
Whenever it means we have played against New Zealand, we have faltered against them.
Nishar Ahmed का question है. Nishar ji, hello. He says it was a chance for New Zealand to dominate completely on England, but they failed because of the skipper. Your views?
We have been talking on this point.
We have been because they were 2 wicket lose होने के बाद भी they were looking good initially when Glenn Phillips came in, but obviously जब एक बैट्समैन ऐसा है जो 180 चेस करते हुए 100 की स्ट्राइक रेट से खेल रहा है, that puts pressure on the other batsman और वही हुआ.
That's what happened. Glenn Phillips को देखना था कि कैसे वो मार. I think this same thing is happening for India in the opening slot.
हाँ, I agree.
A particular player is not being able to perform, he is failing, and that's why the pressure is coming on Rohit Sharma, who has to go after the bowling from the very beginning, and he is losing his
I guess
wicket.
The coach has to talk to Kane Williamson कि आप इतने बड़े player हो, you are arguably country's best player. Let's be honest. उन्होंने जो इतने साल किया Kane Williamson ने, वो आप नहीं बोल सकते just because he isn't performing as of late. But कहीं ना कहीं the coach has to sit with him and एक strategy बनानी पड़ेगी कि आप किस तरह से Australian conditions में खेलना चाहेंगे. Because as a batsman you love playing in Australia, but he hasn't performing well, so he has to think. The coach has to sit with him. कौशल यादव का क्वेश्चन है, फिंच ने रिटायर लिया as he is not performing, सेम विलियमसन को भी करना चाहिए. योर टेक ऑन दिस प्रभुदा?
Kane Williamson's time at present, it looks like his time in the shortest format of the game is up. But Kane Williamson, the player in Test cricket, or Kane Williamson, the player, if he plays, he has not played that much of ODI, so we cannot comment on that. But Kane Williamson longer format में अभी भी बहुत क्रिकेट उनमें अभी भी बाकी है, लेकिन for T20 I think he should take the decision.
But I guess I agree with कौशल, आपके साथ मैं agree करता हूँ कि फिंच, जैसे कि हम अभी तक कहते हैं कि you should, आपको अपनी टीम के हित के लिए खेलना चाहिए, ना कि अपने own personal records के लिए. And like what Finch did, उनका एवरेज बहुत बेकार था, 13-14 का एवरेज रहा इस साल in T20Is, and he decided कि भाई मेरे से नहीं हो रहा in ODIs. I'm sorry, in ODIs he decided कि it's time for me कि let's pass on the mantle to someone else, and he said कि भाई मैं retirement ले रहा हूँ ODI से because मेरे से नहीं हो रहा है. And that's what I feel कि I agree with you कौशल कि Kane Williamson should do after the tournament, even if New Zealand wins the tournament, कि हो सकता है New Zealand जाके जीत जाए. I still feel it's time.
I would just interrupt you once. I see an interesting comment there by Abdul Syed. Everyone is criticizing Kane, but actual thing is that New Zealand cricket have changed a lot because of players like Kane, Baz, Ross Taylor. I'm sure that he will perform in the semis and finals.
अब्दुल जी, सेमीफाइनल्स शायद न्यूजीलैंड इंडिया के साथ खेलेगी, तो आप ये प्रे मत करिए कि वो इंडिया वो सेमीफाइनल्स.
But his take is a good thing that while everyone is criticizing, New Zealand cricket has changed a lot under Baz and after that Kane and Ross Taylor. Lekin we are just telling about not about the man's class or form. We are just talking about not about the man's class or pedigree. We are just talking about the current lean path that he is going through.
So AK edits a question मेरे कि form is temporary, but his captaincy matters, and guys you also know his captaincy skills. आप कब तक captaincy के भरोसे एक player को धोते रहेंगे? मेरे को ये समझ नहीं आता बस.
I think basically एक
just because he's a captain, वो एक spot लेके बैठ गए.
हाँ. He is occupying a spot. These things happen in the franchise leagues also. We have seen these kind of things happening.
I think एक कौशल का एक question again है कि I think he is in a pressure of something which is not because of which he is not able to play. I guess pressure तो नहीं कह सकते, but एक जो वो injury से आया, long term जो इनकी injury हुई है, tennis elbow था I guess.
Yes, I think, and he had also had some trouble with the toes, his toe also. So उसके बाद से I think he has lost his form a bit.
एक क्वेश्चन मैंने कहीं देखा था हर्षवर्धन का, he says what are your views on Virat's hotel room video? हर्ष जी, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जुड़ने के लिए शुक्रिया वन क्रिकेट से। ये चीजें पता है एक्चुअली नहीं होनी चाहिए, लेट्स बी रियली
Yes,
ऑनेस्ट,
of course.
बिकॉज प्राइवेसी मैटर्स। आप ऐसे किसी के रूम में घुस के उनके फुटेज बना रहे हो, इट्स रिस्की थिंग। मतलब यहाँ बैठ के तो हम हंस सकते हैं, मजाक उड़ा सकते हैं, कुछ भी कह सकते हैं कि अरे ये हो गया, बट आप खुद सोचिए कि इमेजिन यू एंटर योर रूम एंड यू सी कि ऐसे मतलब कोई आ रखा है, वीडियो बना रहा है, so
No,
many
this should
things
not
can
happen.
happen.
This should not happen, and it's the problem with, I think, Indian fans. Means they do not know where to stop. Means
True.
where the celebrities, उन लोगों को जो प्राइवेसी है वो कहाँ से स्टार्ट होता है, वो जो है वो इंडियन फैंस में थोड़ा दे, मतलब दे लव देयर क्रिकेटर्स सो मच दैट दे फॉरगेट दैट।
अमित कुमार चौबे जी, उनका एक क्वेश्चन है कि क्या हम 2019 का बदला ले सकते सेमीफाइनल्स में, या न्यूजीलैंड का पलड़ा भारी लग रहा है अभी भी? अमित जी, चांसेस जैसे कि हम बार बार कहते हैं कि इंडिया न्यूजीलैंड ही होना चाहिए अनलेस एंड अनटिल
समथिंग
पाकिस्तान हरा दे साउथ अफ्रीका को, इंडिया दोनों मैच जीत के नेट 100 इंप्रूव हो जाए उनका साउथ अफ्रीका से ज्यादा। बट आई वुड स्टिल से न्यूजीलैंड, अगर ये सेमीफाइनल होता है, अगर कुछ दिनों बाद हम देख रहे हैं अगले हफ्ते ये सेमीफाइनल, मतलब मैं एज एन इंडियन फैन नहीं कहूंगा, एज अ न्यूट्रल मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि न्यूजीलैंड के पास एक साइकोलॉजिकल एज होता है व्हेनेवर दे फेस इंडिया, बिकॉज
that's given.
पिछले, आई डोंट थिंक सो इंडिया ने कभी उनको नॉकआउट स्टेज में हराया है।
I would also give you a stat that 2007 में जब हम चैंपियन हुए थे, we played New Zealand, we lost.
द ओनली टीम वी लॉस्ट अगेंस्ट
Yes.
न्यूजीलैंड।
2011 में हम खेले नहीं है उनसे, 2013 में हम लोगों से चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी में खेले नहीं है। So whenever we are
We
facing,
haven't.
yes, 2019 में खेले थे, हार गए। So not a very good record.
चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी 2000 का फाइनल में जब गांगुली कैप्टन थे, वी लॉस्ट। बट द थिंग इज कि इट्स अ साइकोलॉजिकल एज जो न्यूजीलैंड के पास होता है कि व्हेनेवर दे आर प्लेइंग इंडिया, इट्स लाइक कि हमको पता है हम इंडिया को हरा देंगे। इवन इफ इंडिया प्ले वेल, न्यूजीलैंड नो कि वो कहीं ना कहीं से मैच निकाल लेंगे। सो आई जस्ट होप प्रे कि इंग्लैंड आए, ऑस्ट्रेलिया मिले, कोई भी मिले, बट न्यूजीलैंड ना, सॉरी न्यूजीलैंड ना ही मिले। अब दर्शन काटीमनी, उनका सवाल है कि विराट कोहली का परफॉर्मेंस भी डाउन होता है, बट 2 साल का बड़ा भी कोहली ने कमबैक किया है, इसलिए केन भी कमबैक करता है। ठीक है, फेयर कंपैरिजन।
Fair comparison, but
fair
I think
comparison.
I have said in one or two lives before also that whenever you talk about modern cricket, keep Virat Kohli outside that discussion and start your discussion. Virat Kohli is a class apart from everyone else.
Exactly.
And or Kane Williamson is also a very pedigree player. वो भी form में आएंगे, but T20 cricket at present does not look for him.
Exactly. मतलब जरूरी नहीं कि हर प्लेयर एक 3 फॉर्मेट प्लेयर हो.
Yes, of course.
He has done well in bits and pieces in T20I cricket, but a time comes when you need to realize कि शायद ये एक पर्टिकुलर फॉर्मेट है जो मेरे गेम, मेरे स्टाइल ऑफ प्ले को सूट नहीं कर रहा है, and you need to step back. Not saying he is not a class player. He is one of the greatest players New Zealand has ever produced, but time has come for him to step back, I feel. और भी हम क्वेश्चंस ले सकते हैं। अब्दुल सैयद कह रहे कि इंडिया वर्सेस न्यूजीलैंड एंड साउथ अफ्रीका वर्सेस ऑस्ट्रेलिया लुक्स लाइक ऑन द कार्ड्स, एंड इंडिया वर्सेस साउथ अफ्रीका फाइनल्स, रिवेंज ऑन द कार्ड्स फॉर इंडिया, इंडिया साउथ अफ्रीका।
If India, की बात है अभी, if India face South Africa in the finals, if India touch wood reach the finals, I see India winning because South Africa has a major problem in the big stages. Yes, और उससे भी बड़ी बात है कि जो उस दिन हुआ है वो हर दिन होगा. That's not given. Another thing is the finals will not be on Waka. Perth. Optus.
It will be in Melbourne.
Yes, it will be in Melbourne. Yeah.
So Melbourne pitch will suit India अगर ऐसा होता है. ये hypothetical situation है, but अगर इंडिया साउथ अफ्रीका फाइनल्स होता है, इट विल बी इन मेलबर्न, अ कंडीशन व्हिच जनरली विल सूट द इंडियन स्टाइल ऑफ प्ले एज कंपेयर टू साउथ अफ्रीका. वहां पे वो इतना एक्स्ट्रा बाउंस नहीं मिलेगा जो पर्थ में देखने को मिला है. राजेश का सवाल है, राजेश बी का, कि जेम्स नीशम फॉर्म इज अ बिग कंसर्न फॉर न्यूजीलैंड इन द मिडिल ऑर्डर, ही इज नॉट परफॉर्मिंग विद बैट और बॉल. राजेश जी, वो आपको ट्विटर पे मिल जाएंगे, आप वहां जाइए. वो
I would just like to ask you, DG, कब किए थे बड़े स्टेजों में?
आखिरी बार मेरे को याद आ रहा है 2019 का फाइनल जो इंग्लैंड के साथ हारे थे. He took 3 wickets and scored, I don't remember the runs, but he scored some runs.
Yes, a cameo shot of innings he played.
And he took 3 wickets. So आखिरी बार वो 3.5 साल पहले की बात है, उन्होंने तब परफॉर्म किया था. उसके बाद I don't remember that he has performed.
After that he is performing in Twitter.
He is very active on Twitter. Please go to Twitter. आपको वहां मिल जाएंगे जेम्स नीशम. वो पिच से ज्यादा टाइम एक दिन में स्पेंड करते हैं ट्विटर पे. So you'll find him there, but not on the pitch. It's basically like न्यूजीलैंड उनको धो रही है because of the reputation that he has. कि big hitter है, T20I में चलेंगे, but वो टाइम नहीं आ रहा उनका, वो नहीं चल रहे. Let's be honest. हर्षवर्धन का है कि प्रोबोदा लव टू हियर व्हाट यू आर प्रेडिक्शंस ऑन फाइनल्स एंड व्हाई एंड शादी मुबारक हो। यार ये बताइए क्या चक्कर क्या है ये आपका, शादी
पता
मुबारक हो।
नहीं, ये हर्ष ही हम लोगों को क्लियर कर पाएंगे मेरी
हर्ष
शादी
जी
कब
क्या
हुई
है
यार
ये,
वो।
मतलब एक बार आप जरा यहाँ पर यही कमेंट करिए, ये प्रोबोदा यू
I
गेटिंग
am not.
मैरिड?
I am not, and I have no plans soon. And to answer your questions on the finals, I think India will be in the finals. I see them going to the finals. जैसे कि टीम कॉम्पोजिशन है और जैसे वो खेल रहे हैं, अभी कोई अपसेट
अर्जुन जी
अगर ना
चुप
हो,
कराइए जरा थोड़ा सा।
अभी कोई अपसेट अगर ना हो, but and if they are in the finals, I think I see them facing either Australia or South Africa, and if Australia, it will be a tough competition
tough because they know how to win. They
yes,
know how. They
yes,
are big
and they are
match
playing
team.
in their home conditions.
Exactly.
And as I said, if South Africa, I think India has advantage there.
क्या ऑस्ट्रेलिया ग्रुप स्टेज से भी निकल पाएगी? They have a minus. Their net run rate is in minus.
But I think they will. I think they defeated Ireland quite convincingly in the last match.
Ireland man.
अगला
come
मैच
on.
अफगानिस्तान से है, so we can expect them to do it again.
ठीक है, fair enough. AK edits again. He's back. He says he plays T20 also very well. I guess Kane Williamson की बात हो रही है. And he was the orange cap holder in 2018 IPL. He was in bad phase right now, and we have to support him, guys. आप बात करें 2018 की, AK edits जी, 2018 और 2022 4.5 साल हो चुके इस बात को। 4.5 साल में आपका गेम बदल जाता है। यस, ही इज इन बैड फॉर्म, बट आपको रियलाइज होता है कि एक पॉइंट, जैसे हम एरन फिंच की बात करते आ रहे हैं, अगेन अ ग्रेट प्लेयर, परहैप्स अ ग्रेटर प्लेयर देन केन विलियमसन इन T20 फॉर्मेट,
in the shortest format.
इन द शॉर्टेस्ट फॉर्मेट, नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट ODIs एंड टेस्ट
Or
मैचेस,
overall.
बट हाँ, ओवरऑल की बात नहीं, जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट T20, ही रियलाइज्ड कि मैं ODI में भी नहीं खेल पा रहा हूँ, एंड आई एम 100% श्योर दैट ही विल ड्रॉप आउट ऑफ द T20 एज आल्सो एरन फिंच। सो समटाइम्स यू नीड टू रियलाइज कि आप शायद वो प्लेयर नहीं हो जो आप 4 साल पहले थे, and all thanks to injuries. Sometimes it's not about form, it's about कि आप long injury से वापस आ रहे हो, and it becomes difficult to play the same game.
It's not like we are saying he should retire from cricket or
Exactly.
he's finished. Just the T20 game is not suiting him at present.
Arnav का question है for me, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
He says, DG sir, please say who plays tomorrow, Pant or DK? DK injured है नहीं, मेरे ख्याल से करवाया गया है, but I guess Pant will play. But I don't know why I want him to open.
I also want him to open.
Left-right combination.
If Pant plays, he should open.
He's not a finisher.
Yes.
वो चंबर 6 पे लायक नहीं है.
No.
Just tell him Rahul Dravid should just put his hand on his shoulders and सीधा बोलना चाहिए कि आप जाओ, open करो and just go out there and hit. मतलब
Yes,
आपको कोई pressure नहीं, go all out. Rahul, let's be honest, we have been talking about him के फॉर्म में शायद नेदरलैंड के साथ आ जाएंगे, नहीं आए, शायद साउथ अफ्रीका के साथ आ जाएंगे, नहीं आए.
I think India should take a step and keep KL Rahul for bilateral series only.
But again, I think because DK is not there, I think I personally feel what if like they drop KL Rahul, Deepak Huda can open in the middle, as a finisher or someone at number 6, and Pant should open.
Yes, I agree.
Just a gamble that India can take.
It will be a good composition, and
yes.
And Bangladesh is the team you can do that experiment with.
Sujit Michael says Jimmy Neesham is the only power hitter on the New Zealand side. He can play with 200 strike rate if he was on the crease in the 17th over. Sujit ji, I don't think there's a bigger power hit in the New Zealand side than Glenn Phillips at the moment.
But
even
I would
Darren
say,
Mitchell is better than
I
James
would say
Neesham.
what he said, I agree with it. But again, the thing is what you are doing in crunch situations. In crunch situations, I have not seen him performing lately.
He hasn't. And, you know, sometimes जो आपको टीम आप पे faith दिखा रही है, you need to reward them. कि भैया मेरे पे faith दिखाया गया है. He's not been doing it as I've said.
And if you are an all-rounder, at least with either of the trade, you should be there. And in matches like this, big matches.
Exactly. And he hasn't been doing this. So आप कब तक reputation के basis पे आप खेलते रहोगे? लोग आवाज उठाते कोहली को ड्रॉप कर दो. तो अगर उस पे एक ऐसे इतने बड़े प्लेयर पे सवाल उठाए जा रहे हैं कि कोहली शुड बी ड्रॉप, तो जेम्स नीशम को भी कहना चाहिए भी ड्रॉप कर दो. आलम खान का क्वेश्चन है, व्हाई विलियमसन इज नॉट प्लेइंग वेरी वेल? Injury?
I guess so. And also because of the injury, I think he is running short of confidence and is not being able to adapt to the T20 style of game.
True. I agree. AK edits again. Okay, Saurabh Bhatt का क्वेश्चन पहले मैं लेना चाहूंगा. Kane out and Guptill open the innings and Conway first down. You CSK man, you answer.
I think Conway is a player who can play at number 3. It's a good suggestion going with Guptill and Finn Allen. I think they are opening with Finn Allen, Guptill and Finn Allen, and then Conway comes in at number 3. He is that perfect anchor in a T20 who does not let the scoring rate go down, but keeps on doing his job. So I think this is a good suggestion, but I don't think New Zealand will be doing it.
Another question from Mr. Darshan Katimani. He says, in Indian team squad, Pant deserves better than KL Rahul. Yaar, KL Rahul is a very curious case.
The
As
curious
talented
case of KL Rahul.
as talented as he is, let's be honest, he's a talented player.
Yes, of course. There is no doubt in
There's
that.
no doubt, but आप talent के भरोसे टीम में नहीं रह सकते हो. You need to perform. If the team is backing you, if the coach, team management, the captain is backing you, you need to realize कि now the time has come कि मैं bilateral series के mode से बाहर निकलूं और बड़े मैचेस में perform करूं.
A guy who has been playing for about 7-8 years now, I think.
2015 में debut, I guess.
So 7 years, and he's still considered a young player, a junior player. I don't get the point.
I agree. Pant should play. He should open. Even if he scores 20, but वो 20 मारेगा 10 ball पे.
Yeah.
He'll give you that momentum.
And you have been saying this for a while now.
I've been saying this कि let him go and express him. That's how पंत कब अच्छा खेलता है. जब उसको बोला जाता है कि आप जाइए और अपना जो A game है, अपना जो
natural game है
वो खेलो. And his natural game is to go out and attack. वो रोहित शर्मा से pressure भी हटाएगा. He'll give you a start. He'll give you a momentum. Even if he scores 20, he'll score it in 10 deliveries, जो कि एक momentum दे देगा इंडियन टीम को.
और जो कि राहुल 20-25 गेंद लगा देगा.
हाँ, 20 or 25. So no point of playing him. Cricket with Ayush says India should also think about future backing. Big name is not fear. If you don't change yourself, you will suffer. New Zealand also dropped Colin Munro in World Cup and brought in Mitchell. India should think about KL. Has the time come to say ki tata bye bye?
See, again, I not like to say these things ki KL Rahul should be dropped and it's time up for him. But when you see his performances, what he has been doing, as I have said in some of the videos, that the 350s that he has scored in T20 World Cup are against Scotland, Afghanistan and Namibia. No disrespect to them, but these are not the bowling
failed against Pakistan and New Zealand last time around.
Yes. So I think at least for the time being, it should be a signal to KL Rahul that go back to your domestic circuit, perform there and come back again.
I mean, India के लिए first choice opener test में तो है वो. But again, you need to realize कि it's I guess it's more of a mental blockage more than the technical stuff.
Of course.
Because he's been failing repetitively. So उनका एक mental blockage है कि I can't perform. The pressure is this outside noise coming. I think it's more of a mental blockage than technical stuff.
Yeah.
And the team
Yes,
management
of course,
coach,
I agree with you.
And there's nobody better than Rahul Dravid in a dressing room कि उनके पास जाना चाहिए, again उनके पास बैठे और उनसे बात करें कि कहाँ टेक्निकल फ्लॉज आ रहे हैं, कहाँ आपका ब्लॉकेज है.
जो चीज आप बोल रहे हैं कि ऋषभ पंत के साथ करना चाहिए, वही चीज उनके साथ भी करना चाहिए कि जाओ और खेलो, अपना गेम खेलो. You don't need to keep your wicket intact or do something like that. Just go and show the intent.
Exactly.
If you are going and trying hitting the ball, एक दो मैच आप और फेल हो सकते हो, but sometime the ball will connect your bat and the results will be paid.
ये वही राहुल है जिन्होंने 4 साल पहले 50 मारे थे 14 बॉल्स में.
And I remember that one innings against West Indies where India was chasing a huge target. He scored a century.
Lauderhill, I guess. Australia में, Florida में मारे थे उन्होंने. Yes. Another question from Kaushal Yadav. I'm regular of watching and I have marked that in many of the long term in Williamson's score, they lose, and in why doesn't he play? I guess basically he wants to say that whenever he plays long, New Zealand tend to lose. I don't think so.
I think even if this happens, it would be the lately these things have happened, and it's because that thing that he is that when एक नंबर 3 का बैटर आके जब 120 या 110 के स्ट्राइक रेट या 100 के स्ट्राइक रेट पे बैटिंग कर रहा है, तो he is taking a lot away from the score.
True.
So that's what you see the result for.
Divesh says an interesting question. From the last 1 year, I have heard the word intent 1,000 times from Rohit Sharma, but now where is the intent in the power play? Poor batting from the openers. 110% I agree with you. ये जो एक जैसे इंग्लैंड, I'll talk about your question, Divesh, but जैसे इंग्लैंड है, they are clear about the thought process कि जैसे 2015 के बाद they were clear कि पहले बॉल से ही उनको मार के खेलना है, चाहे 2 विकेट आउट हो चाहे 3 विकेट आउट हो. And they are clear, उन्होंने अपना tactics change नहीं किया. Even if they lose 3 wickets in the power play, they are like, we'll still go all out. Rohit Sharma talked about this.
And India was doing it. India
was doing it. England series.
और मुझे ये भी लगता है कि they should have persisted with it. The only thing that happened is the players that they were trying this with, it was Rohit Sharma with some other opener. From the time KL has come into the equation, this has changed. And it has changed only because जो भी openers रोहित के साथ open कर रहे थे उन series में, it was either Pant or Sky. So they were letting Rohit express himself, while means take his time and then go after the bowling. But that's not happening with KL in the equation.
True. And Darshan is back. He says we are still confused that instead of Pant, they allowed to play Deepak Hooda. I guess last match की बात हो रही है. But Darshan ji, I personally feel that the reason why Deepak Hooda played instead of Pant is because of that solidity. Because he gives you that balance कि वो आपको 2 ओवर भी दे सकते हैं as a spinner. And South Africa के पास left-handed batters है, Quinton de Kock, David Miller.
So India was thinking of that.
He was thinking that off spin होगी and he'll try and spin that ball away from the lefties. Maybe उस पर्सपेक्टिव से वो दीपक हुडा को खिलाया था. दैट ऑब्वियसली डिडंट वर्क बिकॉज होता है कई बार आप जिस प्लानिंग के साथ जाते हो वो काम नहीं करता है. बट दैट वाज परहैप्स द ओनली रीजन व्हाई दीपक हुडा प्लेड कि ही विल गिव यू दैट 2 overs बिकॉज इंडिया वेंट विद 5 bowlers, 5 specialist bowlers, 4 specialists and 1 all-rounder in Hardik Pandya. So just to provide that solidity with the ball, Deepak Hooda खेले थे instead of Rishabh Pant. So yeah, I mean even I feel next match में maybe Pant will come in place of DK, but Deepak Hooda might sit out, I feel.
Yes. So I think our time is coming to an end. Let's
So,
look for one
and
last question.
Up to Meghas, I don't think we have because the last question we'll take. It's from Satya Gaming. He says, "What do you think about the India squad for the World T20? Is it okay or not?" अब तो सत्या जी इस बारे में बात करने का.
The squad has already been announced, and I think the only thing India is missing is Shikhar Dhawan. He would have been a solution to a lot of problems for India in this
big match
tournament.
player, way better than Kohli and Rohit in the ICC tournaments.
Yeah.
So yes, so इसी note पे we are ending today's live session and thank you everyone for joining and हम फिर आएंगे कल before the India versus Bangladesh game, the big game, a game which India have to win. So thank you for joining. So please subscribe and like this video and OneCricket को subscribe करिए and for more such content please आइए हमारे channel पे and we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you so much everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.